Don't settle for a fake snarler when you can have Beard Brothers' premium range of all-natural sausages. No fillers, no nasty artificial stuff, just meat, herbs and a whole lot of flavour. Perfect for barbecues, weeknight dinners, or any time you want real food that tastes like it should. Proudly New Zealand made, you'll find them fresh in your local Foursquare, New World and Pack and Save. Beard Brothers, crafted with care, the old school way.
According to academics from Otago University, tenant occupancy levels are increasing housing costs, forcing families apart and leaving Kiwis struggling to access houses. Currently in New Zealand, under the Residential Tenancies Act, landlords can decide how many people can live on a rental property, in their rental property. However, lead author of the study, Dr. Sarah Berry, says the rules were being abused to harm tenants, leaving some without a home, and in some instances, tenants may be forced to hide household members and even split up families. Māori, Pacifica and families with children are affected the most, aren't they always? Look, we reached out multiple times to Dr. Sarah Berry yesterday via text, calling to come on. She completely ignored us, as the academics tend to do. But look, that's fine because I have one better. Sarah Gibbon, founder and director of Tenancy Advisory, is here. And it's great to have you back on the show. Sarina, good afternoon.
Hey, Leah. I'm not sure if I'm any better, but I'm here.
You are. Hey, look, firstly, under the law, a landlord has every right to state how many people or tenants can live in the property, correct? Or is it the law limits the head count per bedroom or house?
Under the RTA, it is actually silent on the landlord's ability to stipulate a maximum number of occupancy. However, the requirement is for the tenant to abide by the maximum occupancy number if one is stated. So it will be unlawful for the tenant to breach that, but there is actually no guidance from the RTA that requires the landlord to set maximum occupancy in the first place, or whether how they should be setting that.
So if I had a mansion and I only wanted one person to live there, that's my prerogative, right?
Look,
big home. Do you see that? Are there big homes that aren't full of people?
Here's the thing, right, about this study. Such interesting reading. Here's the thing about Dr. Berry's study. It's just that the weakness in methodology simply does not support the degree of moral certainty. So I think it's a very problematic set of data that does not support what it is proposing to say. Now, going back to your mentioned scenario, if we work off the basis that landlords are commercially and economically rational, that they want to get as much rent as they can for the properties that they are renting out because that is the asset they are flogging and they get a return on it, then it makes absolutely no sense that they would restrict the market to just single tenants, right? You'll have a better chance to increase the people who are wanting this property by increasing your net, and that would drive your price up. So I just, look, the RTA says what the RTA says, but at the end of the day, I think it's really important to recognize that the sort of economic rationalism of landlords, and that, the RTA sets statutory minimum. It's not best guidance.
Yeah. Dr. Berry goes on to say that she wants to see a change, almost forcing landlords to not only fill every room, but in some cases it's fine to have two people per room. I mean, then you're going to have the do-gooders and the hand-wringers saying you're running a boarding horrible house and you're packing people in like sardines. You can't win.
Yeah, and against the backdrop of what is in that press article, it talks about the census data reflecting that more New Zealanders are in overcrowded situations. So I really question the depth and breadth of the data sets that Dr. Berry is working on. I really would I would have loved to hear her on your show today to have a better understanding about why she chose to only study one platform across 1 month, not adjusting for seasonality, why she only chose to interview 23 people, not something that's a bigger sampling base.
Yeah, I understand. While I've got you, Sarina, actually, I see tenants and landlords may soon have more powers to end an agreement over methamphetamine contamination.
Yeah.
The government.
Yeah.
Can you explain more? Walk us through what the government wants to establish.
Yeah, sure. So there's nothing new that's being established apart from the standing up of what is called the Meth regulation. So back in 2019, I believe, the Labour government passed a piece of legislation for the RTA that requires the government to set.
Don't settle for a fake snarler when you can have Beard Brothers' premium range of all natural sausages. No fillers, no nasty artificial stuff, just meat, herbs and a whole lot of flavour. Perfect for barbecues, weeknight dinners, or any time you want real food that tastes like it should. Proudly New Zealand made, you'll find them fresh in your local Foursquare, New World and Pack and Save. Beard Brothers, crafted with care the old school way.